Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna share with you the easiest way on getting map control in defense just so you can increase that win rate in competitive. I'm gonna start with a pistol round and I'm gonna leave the operator round for last. You know I love sniping, but I promise you'll understand why I avoid playing with the op in defense by the end of the video. Also I'm gonna give you as many in-game examples as possible just so you can have a better idea of what I'm saying. Okay, so the best spot for Raze on pistol rounds is on long A because all you have to do is to throw your nade at that box and you will damage the entire enemy team if they decided to go A side. If nobody had the chance to cross, you can walk your way towards them and watch this angle. What I usually do is I wait for a couple of seconds in this area just to understand what they're gonna do next. If they go back, I can immediately call it just so my team can keep them busy until I manage to get the flank. If they still decide to push in though, I have to try my best and kill as many of them as possible. Once they notice that you push on long A, you should just jiggle pick after you throw your nade. This way you can get some good info of how many of them are pushing in without exposing yourself too much. If you hear Omen teleporting or Jett dashing to the other side, you know they must be in this area and you should never take the fight because you will now have two angles to hold and the enemy will only have one. Also try to be aware of that spot up there because they can boost themselves and kill you pretty easily. Let's say two of them manage to push in. The best thing for you to do is to follow back and wait for backup. You now have three choices. You either boost yourself on this box, you boost yourself to heaven, or you just hide behind side. If you decide to boost yourself on the short box, don't just pick right away. Try to imagine when the enemy is going to reach this doorway and then pick. They have to clear these two spots and that's when they're gonna be the most vulnerable. Also try to avoid going into this area because you'll be an easy target. To boost yourself to heaven, just throw a satchel on the ground and detonate it while you are in midair.
One enemy remaining.
If you decide to hide behind side, try not to pick too soon because you might just walk into your enemy's crosshair. If you want to be aggressive on short A, you can always boost yourself at the beginning of the round and pre-fire this angle. One last thing on A side, I do not recommend you to use this corner and this one because you don't have any cover and you can get pre-aimed very easily. Just think about it. When you attack, you check heaven, you check backside, this corner on the right, and then you immediately switch to the left side corner. Now, in order for you to use Raze's abilities at their full potential, you need to change sides every couple of rounds and try to be one step ahead of your enemy. The best defense for Raze is a good offense, and the more pressure you will make, the better. The enemy will eventually make a bad move because they will either run out of time or they won't synchronize their push anymore. Just by the simple fact that Raze can do a significant amount of damage at the beginning of each round, you can use it to your advantage and set the tempo of the match. I don't recommend you to stay in these three spots because all it takes for you to die is a recon arrow or just a simple flash. Maybe try to use them only on eco rounds when you don't have that much to lose anyway. Even if you manage to kill two of them and die, that's not a good trade-off. It's always better to give your enemy some extra ground than leaving your teammate with two angles to hold. I prefer covering C short from here because I can always boost myself into safety with the blast pack. I can help my teammate on long, or I can flank the enemy team if I hear them rushing B.
With up.
Satchel out. for the ace.
Satchel out. Talk about collateral damage.
Another good angle to hold is this one. Just align yourself with the door and make one step to the left. This way you can see their shoulders or their guns before they manage to see you. You can use the same technique on the platform of Silong. If you hold it like this, you will always have a huge advantage because by the time they reach the spot, they won't even look at you. They'll have to check the short tunnel first. My favorite spot on Silong is right here because I can hear their footsteps very easily and I can pre-fire them. Especially if I have a sniper, it's a free frag 99% of the times. You can also use your bomb as bait from here and slowly start to push with it. Once they see it, they will have two choices. They will either shoot at it and destroy it, and this is when you should go back, especially if there's more than one in there, or they will just hide and let the Bomba do its own thing. If you think this could be the case, just hold this angle for a bit. Another tip that I would like to share with you guys is try to avoid hiding in corners. What I personally like to do is I always stay like 1 meter away. This way I force the opponent to flick on me instead of finding myself on their crosshair. One simple thing that you can do on B side is to ask a teammate to pick the window while you throw the grenade. By doing this, you will have an easy entry kill because the enemy will focus on you since you'll be the first one to show up on his screen. Try to throw the nade in such a way to force him to white pick or to jump over. I think you already understood by now why I told you in the beginning of the video that I avoid playing with a sniper in defense. Raze can do a ton of damage with her abilities and you can finish an entire enemy team with just a couple of bullets. Especially on a map like Heaven where the range of the fighting areas are pretty small. So next time if you have to decide between buying yourself a Phantom or an Operator, buy the Phantom and save the money for a future drop. If your team has some extra cash though, there's nothing wrong with sniping.
Garden.
Here comes it.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
My favorite sniping spots on B side are up there, up here, and sometimes I use this spot because it's very easy to go into safety after a kill. Anyway, try to diversify your gameplay no matter the side you're holding. I will be doing these guides on all the maps, so please let me know if you prefer to have more in-game examples or if you want me to go more in-depth in custom games. If this guide helped you in any way, a like is very much appreciated. Until next time,